Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and hopefully the breathing has been sorted from yesterday. I've got the mic a little further away. I don't know what happened. A lot of people complained about it, but I have another Bulgarian workout for you guys. And I want to state up front, I started this week off really good. All right, I came in my first and second days, I crushed it. And I said, I felt great, no pain, everything was fast, strong. Yesterday I felt rough. Today I felt beat up. I was afraid I wasn't even going to be able to squat 300 pounds today. My hips, basically my right groin area, that whole adductor was sore. It doesn't hurt now after I finished squatting, but it hurt before I was squatting while I was warming up. My biceps hurt, my triceps hurt, my pecs hurt, everything hurt. My whole body is just aching today. But I got under the barbell anyways, and this kind of tells you something. When you pick your daily minimums appropriately, guess what? When your entire body hurts and you feel like garbage, you can still hit them. These are your everyday maxes. That's what your daily minimums represent. What you can do on a bad day, when you're sore, you should be able to do these every single day. Some days are going to feel light. Some days they're going to feel excruciating. For me, the 475 squat today was hard. I almost short stroked to the bottom. If you guys watch, I stopped about an inch higher than I normally do because it felt so heavy. Looking at the footage, I'm pretty sure I made depth, but it's close. If I was an inch higher, it would definitely be a red light, in my opinion. It would definitely be a red light an inch higher. And that's just how it was. And you guys will see that. But you know what? I got every single lift today. I got every lift today, including both of my sets of chin-ups. The chin-ups were easy, by the way. That's funny because now that I'm doing chins twice a day, doing 90 pounds at a body weight of 237 right now, I do them easy from a dead hang. I do them twice a day. They're getting really easy. Well, chin-ups are going to be monstrous when I drop another 20 pounds of fat at this rate. But yeah, a lot of it has to do with the fatigue of the training, my diet, everything else, right? That's definitely impacting me big time today. And Thursdays are always, that's kind of been a pattern for me since I've started the Bulgarian. I had Thursdays for some reason, even before I started filming, where my squat would almost get cut in half. I couldn't even get to 300. Had to happen 3 different times. It's common for me. But yeah, today that was tough. It was tough. Then we get to the bench. I did my 315 like usual. It actually was pretty clean. I got a nice long pause. Every other lift on here looked better than it felt other than the chins. The bench and the standing press were kind of tough today. But, the 315 bench reminds me of something, because a lot of people are watching this, and I'm getting some of the guys who are newer to training who are like, I'm never going to be able to lift the weights that you lift. That's funny, because for me, the 315 bench is a funny thing. Yes, I know I've benched more than that. I benched a hell of a lot more than that when I was younger. I benched more than that in comp on camera in the UK, right? So, but that's not the point. The fact that I do 315 every day is kind of an interesting number for me. Because when I started out, I was great at squats. In fact, if you guys remember, I told you guys I deadlifted 455 the first day I ever tried a deadlift. But I was already squatting over 400 by then. And I did pretty heavy rows. I sucked at the bench. I have really long arms. A lot of guys are like, man, you've got a big, thick barrel chest. You should be able to bench great. Yeah, I should, but look how long my arms are. Look at that long wingspan. For me, getting to that 135, that one plate aside, was a milestone. Because I'm going to be honest, I started with a 65 bench. I had a 65-pound bench press when I started, even with a big rib cage and a barrel chest and little skinny toothpick arms. And it was hard. And when I got to that 135, it felt like forever to get from 135 to 225. I mean, I'm talking 6-7 months. 6 to 7 months of hard work to get that extra plate. And when I finally got there, I'm over at the gym and I saw a power lifter, some power lifters training, and I saw a power lifter over with 315 on the bench. And he hit it for 3 reps, paused, and I watched that dumbfounded, because in my mind at that time, I've been training, I don't know, probably 10 months, a year. It took me about a year to get to a 225 bench. I've been training a whole year. I was benching all the time. I was squatting all the time. Like, honestly, my frequency was almost like it is now. I didn't have a routine. I just came in and was squat heavy and bench heavy and all that stuff, and do rows and whatever else. And I watched him do it, and I was dumbfounded. In my mind, I'm like, how in the world is it? I've been at this for a whole year, training as hard as I possibly can. As hard as I can. And I'm at the 225, and that was so hard for me to get, and I was so proud of myself the first time I got a 225 bench, and that same day I saw that 315, and it just blew my mind. And I know that sounds funny, but I wasn't powerlifting yet. I hadn't competed in anything. And it blew my mind. I'm like, how does a guy get to a 315 bench? He probably doesn't weigh that much more than me. Guy only has like 20 pounds on me, if that. 315, it was a big deal. And I thought I would never reach that. And then I went on to where you guys have seen me do that for 5 reps before. I'll get back to that. Actually, I probably won't rep. I'm going to get back to a 400 bench. But the point is, a lot of guys are seeing what I'm doing here who are newer to the game. See this old man lifting this weight, talking about getting to a 600 squat while I'm doing 475 every day. They're watching me 315 bench every day, close grip. And they're like, I'm never going to be able to do that. Yeah, you can. You can do that. You can do that. I'm going to tell you right now, any of you guys listening, you healthy young men, you can get to a 500 squat. You can get to a 315 bench. Anybody who tells you that you cannot do that you can't do that even most likely drug-free, that it's impossible for you personally to do it, that's not true. It's only true if you let them convince you of that. Because I got to a 325 bench completely drug-free originally. Yeah, I went on gear after that. I got to a 325 bench natural. With terrible bench. I started with a 65-pound bench press. I am not a genetically gifted bencher. I got to a 475 squat. The same thing I'm squatting now as a young man, completely clean. I probably could have got past 500 clean had I been more patient. I regret doing that as soon as I did, to be honest. I probably should have waited another year or two. But I got to a 475 totally clean. So I could have got to 500, and I definitely got past the 300 bench, and I'm better at the squat than the bench. So you guys who are watching this, who are saying, I'm never going to be able to lift these numbers he's lifting right now, and he does this every day. Yeah, you can. You can. You're going to have to eat. You're going to have to sleep, and you're going to have to train your ass off. But you can do this. Even if you aren't that genetically gifted. Guys, I am not the most genetically gifted athlete in the world by any stretch of the imagination. I can do all this. Granted, I'm on TRT and stuff, but I'm also in my 40s. And I'm going to get a lot stronger than all this. And that's kind of why some of that doesn't matter either. But where I'm at right now, these lifts, 475 bench, 315 bench, 475 squat, a 225 press. All you young men can do this. You're just going to have to apply yourself. You can do this. Trust me on it. I mean, I'm laying out the template for you right here. I'm breaking it all down. You can do this. I promise you, you can. You've got to believe in yourself, and you've got to be willing to put in the work consistently. You might have to give up on having your chiseled abs for a few years. You might have to give up on having deep shredded abs for a few years. You're going to have to eat your way to the bigger numbers. You can always diet down later. You're going to have to probably give up some of your partying. You're going to have to get better rest. You're going to have good stress management. You're probably going to need to eat more quality food. But if you're willing to do those things, you can hit every one of these numbers. I promise you, genetically average guys out there, you can reach the numbers I'm hitting right now. I promise you can. Like, I swear to you that you can do it. Just apply yourself. And here I go, my last lift of the day, my second chin up with 90 pounds. Like me, man, I'm going to be a beast on these chins. Another 20 pounds of fat loss, and keep staying strong like this on these. I'm going to be chinning 150 pounds of plates one day. Watch me. I'm going to do it. You know why? Because I believe that I can, and I know that I can, and I'm willing to put the work in that it takes to get there. Just like if you guys, the numbers some of you younger guys might see me lifting here, because I get that sometimes. I couldn't do that. Well, it's only because you believe that you can't. Apply yourself. You can do it. I believe in you, and I'm telling you objectively, you'd really be surprised what you'd be capable of doing if you apply yourself for the next 5 years. You'd be really surprised. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.